Welcome to Peter and Roughie's football show. We're on STV Edinburgh and STV Glasgow, and we're delighted to have your company. The main talking points tonight: Scottish clubs continue their quest for European football before and after the end of July. We'll discuss Celtic, Aberdeen and Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Rangers slip up against Burnley in their home friendly, and also Hearts appoint a new captain in Aslam Ozturk. That's some of the talking points tonight on the programme. Roughie's alongside me, and I'm delighted to say back with us. We were worried about him, whether in the summer months he could have been involved in some kind of Bosman deal, but Gordon Smith is here with us tonight. Delighted to have you with us. And of course, you were back at your old haunting ground down there in Brighton, meeting a few old friends from your days down there.
I was, yeah. As I was down, it was a mixture of visiting friends and staying with friends, and also, there was a party I was at, and had up in Wentworth, that one was. We had a game of golf there too, which was pretty good. But it was great being about the town. And people, even the ones that recognised me, they were very nice to me. Yeah. You never know how people go after what happened with me at Brighton, you know. But in general, people are always very friendly.
But do you get the odd one?
Yeah,
not
really. You know, people might say when they'll say, "Oh, you know, you cost us the cup," and be funny about it. But most of the time, the people are very nice, because there was one guy even said, "Oh, Mike Robinson should never have passed the ball to you," I was like, because you knew I was going to miss, like, you know. But the people are nice. It's a lovely place, Peter. I mean, I lived in Hove, as I used to call it. I started calling it down there in Hove, actually, because that's what everybody says. I'm from Brighton, well, Hove, actually. So I started calling it, that's true. So I started calling it Hove, actually, and we all caught on to that, and that's what we called it. But it's a nice part of the world, and you know, the football team's still fighting away to try and get back to the highest level, and they might eventually get there. Just
on that point, I mean, you were talking about going back to a former club. I want to highlight something on the news. On STV yesterday, Mike Edwards did a great piece with Gail Pirrie, who's been trying to really push her father's induction into the Scottish Football Hall of Fame, and her dad, of course, is Ali MacLeod. Now, you had to wait a heck of a long time, Roughie, and I know there's a panel that discusses the merits of certain candidates, and then we all vote on it, and then certain people are inducted. So Gail feels as if, you know, Ali MacLeod, over a long period of time, 50 years, he'd given his life to football. As a player, certainly as a manager, he had a good CV, but he seems to be remembered for those 2 weeks in Argentina.
I don't think that should be the case. You've touched on it briefly there. I think if you take that out of the equation, I think Ali's record at most of the clubs he was with were more than successful. You know, so
but he had a good record with Scotland, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying on his merits at club level, he should be in it. You know, with the merits of club level and Scotland, he should be in it as well, because although the results never went particularly well over in Argentina, he lifted the whole nation. You know, he got everybody going, and you know, we had a fantastic run. I think my first 16 games that I played that Ali was in charge of, we won 15 of them. You know, he had a fantastic record. Everybody seems to dwell on the Argentina scenario far too much, and if I was certainly on that board, he would be on it. And no question.
Well, I think that's high
and not
praise
only as
indeed.
a footballer, but as a man as well.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great guy.
Well, the other thing about it as well, Roughie, is, I mean, let's not beat about the bush. You know, he as a manager led Scotland to the World Cup finals. It was the players who let us down. You know, they let the nation down.
But he picked them. No, I'm not a joke. No, you know, it was just the circumstances that never went well, and I hold my hands up as well. He took full credit. I mean, he took the blame himself personally, you know, and took everything away from the players. All the criticism, I think he took it on the chin and moved on. Yeah,
well, full marks to Gail. I mean, I can understand the emotion of why she's really fighting for her dad, and full marks to her. There's a flip side to it, that, you know, there are other people who obviously think they're worthy, more worthy. You know,
it's not even a question of being more worthy. It's a question to see whether you think, in terms of the career he had, he was a player at a good level too. He didn't ever become established like international level as a player, but he worked his way up to it. I mean, he had a long spell at Ayr. There was a lot of great stories about him. He was a character. Ali. That was the major thing about him. He was a real character. It was obviously a surprise when he got the Scotland job, I think, to most people. I think a lot of people were shocked by it. But, you know, he managed at Aberdeen as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, a fairly strong career. So it is one of these ones that it's down to more to do with his character. I mean, I had a wee bit of a fallout with him, which I won't go into in a Scotland trip.
Yeah.
So I was just, you know, we had a fallout, and he never picked me after that. So, you know, but apart from that, I wouldn't say anything against him.
To be fair, I'm glad you narrowed it down to Ali McLeod. You've had a fallout with
everybody. Yeah.
Anyway, full marks to Gael, and listen, on its merits, I'm sure Ali will be discussed with the Hall of Fame panel. That's just something that caught my eye last night. Well done to Mike for that story and highlighting it. And we're all talking about European football. Of course, we want to see our clubs progress. We want to see the majority of them progress. It doesn't look too good for Inverness, but tonight Celtic should be able to, I would suggest, Roughie, finish off Stjarnan. And Ronnie Dyla has already mentioned to the man who was involved in Bitegate, Nadir Sifsi, you know, don't lose your aggression, but obviously within the laws of the game, go out there and maybe score a goal tonight. Yeah,
he's got something to offer, there's no doubt about that. Anytime we get the chance to see him, he's got that wee special bit in him. You know, he can come up with that wee bit of extra that some players don't have. I think tonight's game in particular, all about who scores the first goal. You know, obviously if they were to score it, it'd be a wee bit nervous, but certainly I think Celtic had enough chances in the first leg to put this one away.
Yeah, I cannot see any slip up there.
No. I fancy Celtic through strongly. I wouldn't even be surprised if Celtic win tonight in Iceland, because sometimes the home game can be more difficult because you're pushing forward and you get caught, maybe a counter-attack. But Celtic won the first game without losing a goal as well. So I think that they'll go through tonight. I was quite surprised when I went away and played at the weekend, but I don't think they played their full squad at the weekend. You know, to have a game in Spain between two European games is taking a bit of a risk with that. But I think they probably felt that at this stage of the qualifying rounds they would go through. So I think Celtic will comfortably be through. Yeah,
well, I think Celtic and a number of clubs, Roughie, have learned their lesson from traipsing around the globe, trying to earn £1 million here and there, because it takes its toll on you at the start of the season.
Yeah, it certainly does, and I think that was one of the first things that the new manager identified, that they wouldn't be doing it, you know, particularly going to America and Canada. It was far to travel. So, you know, he's went about his business. He's beginning to stamp his own authority on the team and anything that's happening outside it.
Yeah, and they're getting a familiar look about them as well, Celtic. I mean, Gordon in goal, Lustig, Boyata comes in for Denny Ure, who went back to Manchester City, then Mulgrew and Izagiri.
Yes.
Van Dijk still to come back, Beaton, Brown, then it's Forrest, Johansson, Armstrong, and Sifsi as the lone striker has been there. You know, give or take, people coming on.
Yes, exactly. Beaton's there as well. I think you're right. It's a case of the team's getting more established, and he's also established a style of play as well, Peter, and you know, the fitness levels, all that sort of thing. So I think we're a year on. I think last year was pretty much a shocking time for Celtic in terms of how it went in the early part in Europe. But this year, I don't have those fears because of that year of bedding everything in terms of how they play and the squad and the players. You're almost naming the team there. But Yatta will be an interesting one to see, because I was checking up on him, and even though he's like, I think he's 24 years of age, he's not got a lot of track record in his career.
Yeah.
He's only played about 40 matches in his whole career at the age he is. So he's just maybe a squad player, wherever he's been. So this is an opportunity for him to establish himself at Celtic, and it'll be interesting to see how he fits in.
Yeah, well, he's got a great goal-scoring record for Celtic. One competitive game, one goal.
A lot more than some of the strikers that have come in.
He doubled his career record that night when he scored that goal.
Yeah. There are a few Celtic strikers who have been shipped out right now under the radar that would have been more than happy with a goal in a Champions League qualifier. Just before we hit the break, Aberdeen, I really like the look of their side now. You know, Shinnie's in there.
Yes.
They've got a real, good, strong, solid midfield as well. Paul Quinn's been added, and up front, McGinn was playing up front in the win against Rijeka, but Rooney and Flood all to come in. McLean as well.
Absolutely, and I have to say they deserve a lot of credit for that result. That was an absolutely tremendous. That was the best result for any Scottish team for quite some time. I even feel since Celtic beat Barcelona, that was the best result for Aberdeen to win.
Think?
In Croatia, yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I know the Croatians, Rijeka, were stunned by Aberdeen's 3-0 win, and I'll tell you, it's been a long time since I've actually witnessed an Aberdeen performance that good away from home, you know, so well done to them. It'd be great to see Derek McInnes' side just finish it off, and I fully expect him to do so this week.
Yeah, I don't think they'll take the foot off the gas at all. No, they'll be aware that this is a quality side that they're playing. Yeah, they got the 3-0, but they've still got to do it, you know, and I'm sure they will. And I think it'll be a very close game tonight.
Okay, we're going to talk Thursday. Just testing you, Roughie. We're going to talk about Hearts and Hibs in the next part of the programme, and a few of the ins and outs at maybe your favourite club. It's all to come in the next part of Peter and Roughie's Football Show. Welcome back to Peter and Roughie's Football Show. Gordon Smith is with us here in the studio to talk European football and domestic issues as well. And over the last 24, 48 hours, obviously Robbie Nielsen's been looking for a replacement as captain at Hearts, and he has picked Ozturk. Ali Ozturk is the man who's going to be leading the side. What do you make of that appointment?
Yeah, well, I think the manager obviously sees the influence that he's got about the place, not on the park but off the park as well. There's still a lot of young players at Hearts who look up to him. He's a quality player, there's no doubt about that. And he obviously sees him as a leader. Yeah,
and of course it always helps, Roughie, when you score an absolute raker in the last seconds of an Edinburgh derby.
Yeah, it certainly does, but I don't think it'll be because of that. I think it'll be because of what he sees in the player himself.
Yeah, I mean, Wilson's gone to Rangers.
Yeah.
They've got to look for somebody who can drive. I always like, I don't know about you, but I'm not so sure about keepers being captains, but I always like somebody in the back four to be the captain. I
think you're right. I think the only other position would probably be holding midfield. I don't think strikers are suited to be captain or even wingers. I think it has to be somebody.
I'm trying to think of a striker that's been a captain.
There's been one or two. Johan Cruyff maybe was an example.
Well, to be fair, if Cruyff says he's a captain, you go, aye, fine, on you go.
He was captain and manager at the same time. You know,
Maradona was he not captain?
He ran the thing.
Well.
Yeah, well, he was he wasn't a striker as such. Maradona is more of a.
So
he was a number 10.
I'm trying to think of somebody else.
Yeah. There's probably been one or two. Was I don't know if Bobby Charlton was the captain at Man United, was he? He was playing well up front, upfield, wasn't he? So
yeah.
There's probably been a few, but I think that you're right. It's somebody who can control things to the back. But it's about the type. It's about the character. You need a leader. You need somebody who's strong, and you know the other players respect as well.
Do you see Hearts being a force this season?
I see Hearts, you know, we're early predicting all these things, but I see Hearts as definitely being up there, top 4 anyway, definitely.
Top 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go top 6. Yeah,
well, you're really putting yourself out in the limb,
top 6. Top 6. I said that about Dundee. I think Dundee are the team this year that I'll be looking at if they can get in the top 6. As we discussed it last night, I think Paul again is waiting for players from the lower division. That's not to say they're not going to do it again, but certainly I think this could be a wee turning point for them. Yeah,
and in contrast, across the city, albeit Hibs are in the Championship with Rangers, you know, the Scott Allen story won't go away, but Hibs, you know, today again have said, look, there's been no contact from Rangers. That's not to say, as you know, as an agent, you know, things go on in the background.
Absolutely. You know, I was talking to somebody last night, and he was saying to me he heard that Rangers are making moves for him. So it was, you know, it's off the record, and don't know how strong his information is. But he said there were. The Rangers are trying to get.
I think the difference between contact and official contact is where we are here.
How much are we talking about here?
Well, why would you sell him? Never mind how much we're talking about.
Sure enough, as soon as
he's got a year to go.
Yeah, but why would you sell him?
I know you're selling to your rivals
at a time, Gordon, when you know, let's not beat about the bush. Mark Warburton is in there, and the Rangers fans are looking and saying, okay, let's see what type of football you're playing.
Yes.
The signings are unknown quantities.
I know. They are, they're always a risk.
So you're looking, you're saying to yourself, okay, what type of player is he signing?
Yes.
And Hibs have got a settled team.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a great battle between them. Why would you give them Scott Allen?
Absolutely. You're right, especially in respect to the fact that you're putting them to someone. So that gain of money in the short term in order to, you know, get money in, you've lost your best player probably.
Yep.
To the team who you're going to be challenging for, and the money that could be worth getting promotion is lost if you don't get promotion. So you're right, it's a financial thing. As long as you know the lad, if he wants to go, say, and you turn him down, you know he's still committed to you. and I believe he will be, even if they don't sell him.
I wouldn't be surprised if Alan Stubbs comes out. I don't think he'll be too happy with what's going on. You know, you either have or you haven't. You know, and most players at this time of the season can be unrested by something like this, you know, and the boy himself.
But he's in a win-win situation, Roughie. You can turn around and say, I mean, Hibs, I think, if I was Hibs, I'd look at it and say, listen, the stakes are massive here. Let's dig our heels in. Let's say you're staying for the year, and then the boy can pick whoever he wants. If he has a good year, you know, he suddenly can look and say, well, I could have...
Absolutely.
You know, a big club in Scotland. Rangers might get him for nothing in a year from now.
It depends, yeah. But if he stays at Hibs and they're the team that win the league and go up, then he's got a choice. Then, well, would you rather play in the Premier League and stay at Hibs or go stay in the Championship with Rangers, whatever? So there's those two options as well. So I think you're right. I think it's all down to how Hibs see it, and the fans. The other aspect of it is, which happened a little bit with Dundee United, remember, was the fans get a bit annoyed too. Yeah. If you sell your players, because they're selling, Dundee United sell two players that can't play against them, obviously in the cup, but it stopped them winning the cup, didn't it? When the players went away.
I mean, look what Dundee United bid for him. What was it, 25,000?
Yeah.
I mean, what's Rangers going to bid?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think if I was a Hibs fan, I'd be looking and saying, dig your heels in, keep them for the season, and see if Hibs can take the fight to Rangers for the title in the Championship. I'll tell you one good signing for Rangers as well. I think we expect the whole thing to be done and dusted. Jason Holt, obviously Hearts will get a development fee on this one. I think they're talking about 60-odd thousand. Yeah,
I mean, that. Rangers are trying to build. They're obviously get good information on him, and I think that getting that kind of player in, if he comes to Rangers and develops with them during the season, then it'll be a good signing for them. I think you're right.
Just over 20,000 at Ibrox to see the Mark Warburton era. There was certainly a feeling of a fresh start.
Yes. Well, I think that there's a positivity about it. I think there's two things. One was to see how that game would go last night and how they played. Seemingly didn't play too badly at all. Yep. I understand that the fans were quite happy in terms of the football they played. Obviously didn't score, lost the game. But the big test for them will come on Saturday, because this is them playing at this very early stage in the season one of the teams who are going to be a main rival for them getting promotion. And
there's a few players that obviously have struggled, Roughie, to get a club. I mean, I was surprised Liam Craig struggled to get a club, and eventually he got a move back to his old side, St Johnstone. I was surprised Hibs let him go. But Ian Black turned out for Berwick Rangers as a trialist. Some people might raise an eyebrow at that. I think he might have just been keeping the engine ticking over. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. He's obviously not with a club just now. You've got to keep yourself in that people know that you're still what you've got, and if it's in that division or just in a friendly, then fair enough. But I think enough people know what he can do. It's just whether you want to take a gamble on him. Am I right? Is the perception here that he's almost like the bad boy of Scottish football? There's a real... I know, I don't understand. He tainted it in some ways. I mean, the gambling thing, he's paid his penalty, fine, but... Absolutely, and the thing about it was he was a Premier League player when he was at Hearts, and then came to Rangers and went down divisions, and obviously it didn't work out all the time. Initially, he was considered one of the better players in the Rangers team when they were playing. He has to get himself back to getting established again. I'm surprised, like you, he's not got a club. There's no doubt about it. He was at Berwick just to keep himself ticking over. Bit of fitness level and all that. Big danger is he could have been injured in the game or whatever that would cost him. But I'm surprised. But we might be wrong. There might be teams moving from him. But don't forget, he'll have a high wage level at the moment, which I'm pretty sure he did, leaving Rangers. And I'm pretty sure the offers he's had, even in the Premier League level at the moment, will be a lot less than he's on at the moment. I think he's one of these players that needs to reinvent himself. You know, he needs to assure people that he can do it on the park. Take away all the baggage out the road and just say, look, I'm putting that behind me. And you look at Lee Griffiths, you know, everything that he had. You know, I think he comes under that category. He's one of these players that has to prove to a team that he can do it on the park. Well, he was an outstanding player at Hearts. So despite how the Rangers time's gone, there's one or two players have disappointed. I mean, I saw Chris Boyd playing last night for Kilmarnock, and he looked like a different player as he was at Rangers. Well, he was getting involved in the play. I think Chris Boyd is going to be... And I'm not going to... It's too early. I'm not going to say... No bets yet. I'm not going to say Chris Boyd's going to score 20 goals. I'm telling you, Chris Boyd will have a smile on his face again, because Kilmarnock will play football that suits Chris Boyd.
Yep.
Rangers didn't play that football last season, and he looked, week by week as I was watching him, a demoralised figure because they just played Route 1 football at times.
Absolutely not. The Kilmarnock were playing, and he was much more involved in the game, and nice touches. He had a couple of efforts. Goalkeeper a good save from him at one time, but you're looking at it thinking he showed more in that game for Kilmarnock last night than I'd seen him at any time at Rangers.
I thought he relished being at Kilmarnock because he was the main man, and he had to be the focus for everybody to play around about, and he benefited from that.
Yeah, I'm going to leave you with possibly the man that I'm going to read his book next. I Am Zlatan, because when he was asked about his future, he said, "My future is in the hands of my agent." I thought, there is your 21st century footballer. The agent will decide if the deal is good enough, and he could be off from PSG.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has to worry, does he? I think he's certainly got enough in his boots, to find a club quite easily. So I don't think he would need an agent, do you?
No, absolutely. Probably could do it himself, to be perfectly honest with you. Great to have Gordon back with us. Delighted to get a chance to chat to him. Hopefully you can join us Monday to Friday on STV Edinburgh and STV Glasgow, 6:30 every night. We talk football right across all the divisions. Thanks to Roughie, thanks to Gordon, from myself, Peter. Thanks for watching.